Let me say this to you slowly, because if you miss this, you will miss the most important part of your night. Before you ever clicked this, before your finger ever touched the screen, Allah already knew you would be here. Not because you were curious, not because you were bored, but because something inside you has been breaking quietly, and He saw it. There is a question you have been carrying that you don't say out loud. A weight in your chest you pretend doesn't exist when people look at you. A moment in your life where you keep thinking, "Ya Allah, what are you doing with me?" Listen to me now. If this video found you tonight, it is not a coincidence. It is not timing. It is not the algorithm. It is a summons. Allah does not interrupt lives for entertainment. He interrupts them for direction. So don't listen to this like a video. Listen to this like a message that crossed your path on purpose. Because the next few minutes may not change your screen, but they might change the way you walk back into your life. This moment did not find you. You were summoned to it. My dear one, let me stay with you here for a little longer, because this is the kind of truth that needs time to settle into the heart, not just pass through the ears. You may look at your screen and think this is just another pause in your day, another voice in the long line of things you have listened to. But there are moments that carry more weight than they appear to. Moments that are placed in front of you not by chance, but by design. Allah is Al-Hadi, the one who guides. Guidance does not only come in the form of big, dramatic changes. Sometimes it comes in the quietest ways. A thought that keeps returning to you, a feeling you cannot shake, a restlessness that makes you search for something you cannot yet name. Think about how many times you have scrolled past things without stopping, how many voices you have ignored, how many moments you have let pass, and yet you stopped here. Something in you chose to stay, to listen, to give this moment a piece of your attention. That something is not random. That is your heart responding to a call it recognizes, even if your mind cannot fully explain it. Allah knows the exact weight you are carrying inside your chest. Not just the big things you talk about, but the small, quiet ones that follow you through your day. The thought that appears when you wake up in the morning. The worry that sits with you in silence. The memory that returns when everything around you becomes quiet at night. He knows what you have tried to be strong about. He knows what you pretend does not hurt anymore. He knows the questions you turn into jokes and the prayers you whisper only when no one else is around. And still, He guided you here. Sometimes Allah calls you not because you are lost, but because you are about to grow. There are seasons in life when the heart becomes soft, even if it feels tired. Open, even if it feels wounded. Ready, even if it feels uncertain. In those moments, Allah places reminders in your path, not to overwhelm you, but to gently realign you, to remind you who you belong to remind you that your life is not just a series of reactions to what happens around you, but a journey being watched, shaped, and guided by the one who created you. You might be in a place right now where you feel unsure about your direction. Maybe you thought your life would look different by now. Maybe you are carrying disappointment or confusion or a quiet kind of hope you are afraid to name out loud. Let me tell you something simple and clear. If Allah did not care about where you were going, He would not bother guiding you at all. The fact that you feel this pull, this pause, this moment of reflection, is itself a sign that your story is still being written with care. Sometimes we expect Allah's guidance to come with answers that solve everything at once. But often it comes as a single step, a single reminder, a single moment that makes you stop and look at your life with different eyes. This may be one of those moments for you. Not a moment that changes everything overnight, but a moment that quietly shifts something inside you. A moment that reminds you that you are not invisible, that you are not forgotten, that your struggles and your hopes and your efforts are not drifting in an empty space. They are held. So if you are here, listening right now, Let yourself believe this, even if only a little. You were not summoned to this moment because you are perfect. You were summoned because you are human, because you need reminders, because you need space to breathe, because you need to remember that there is a purpose moving through your life, even when you cannot see the full picture yet. This moment came looking for you, not to judge you, not to pressure you, but to sit with you where you are and say, gently and clearly, you are seen, you are known, and you are still being guided. And sometimes, that is the beginning of everything changing. The pain you bury is the place Allah is quietly crowning you. My dear one, let me speak to the part of you that stays strong for everyone else, but grows quiet when you are finally alone. There is a pain you carry that you do not announce, a weight you have learned how to hold without letting it show in your face or your voice. You smile when people ask how you are. You say you are fine, even when something inside you feels anything but fine. And you may think this pain is just something you have to survive, something you have to get through and leave behind. But listen to me gently. Allah does not place a wound in a heart without also placing a purpose within it. The place that hurts the most inside you is not empty. It is not forgotten. It is not wasted. It is a place where Allah is working quietly, shaping you in ways you cannot see yet. Think about how this pain has changed you. Before it, maybe you were quicker to judge. Now you are slower, softer, more careful with people's hearts. Before it, maybe you relied on things, or people, or plans. Now you find yourself turning back to Allah in moments when nothing else feels steady. This is not an accident. Pain has a strange way of stripping away what is shallow and leaving behind what is real. It removes the parts of life that were only decoration and brings you face to face with what truly matters: your faith, your character, your relationship with Allah. You may look at this wound and think it made you weaker. But what if it made you deeper? What if it gave you a kind of strength that does not come from winning, but from enduring? There are crowns that the world gives, crowns of status, of praise, of success. They shine on the outside, but they sit lightly on the head and can fall off just as easily as they were placed. And then there are crowns that Allah places inside the heart, crowns of patience, of humility, of reliance on Him, of mercy for others, of quiet resilience that does not need to be seen to be real. These crowns are not given in moments of comfort. They are given in moments of struggle, in the nights when you cried and still chose not to give up, in the days when you felt empty and still chose to pray, in the moments when you were misunderstood and still chose to stay gentle. You did not see a crown being placed on you in those moments. All you felt was the weight of the pain, but Allah saw the weight of your effort. You may wonder why this had to be part of your story, why your path could not have been easier, lighter, more like the lives you see around you. Let me tell you something with honesty. Not every heart is trusted with the same kind of journey. Some hearts are given comfort. Some hearts are given strength. Some hearts are given a deeper kind of responsibility, the responsibility to grow through what hurts instead of running from it. If Allah guided you here, maybe He wants you to see your pain differently, not as a mark of failure, not as a sign that you were forgotten, but as a sign that you were trusted with something that would shape you into someone who can carry more light, more understanding, more compassion than you ever could before. You are not being punished by this pain. You are being prepared. One day, you will look back at this season of your life and realize that the place you thought was breaking you was actually building you, and the part of your story you wanted to erase became the part that gave your life its quiet, unshakable strength. So, if you are hurting right now, let yourself breathe in this truth. Allah is not turning away from you in this pain. He is standing closer than you think, placing something unseen but lasting inside your heart, a crown that does not shine for the world, but shines in the sight of the one who sees everything. What you call waiting is Allah moving your life behind a veil. My dear one, let me speak to the part of you that keeps looking at the clock, the calendar, the doors in your life that still have not opened. There is something you are waiting for. Maybe you have been waiting for so long that the waiting itself has become part of who you are. You wake up each day carrying a quiet question inside your chest. When, Ya Allah? When will this change? When will this make sense? And, as the days pass, it can start to feel like nothing is happening. But let me tell you something that your heart may not want to hear at first, but needs to understand. Silence is not emptiness. Stillness is not absence. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean Allah is not working. When Allah places a veil over a part of your life, it is not to leave you in the dark. It is to protect what is being prepared for you. Some things are too delicate, too important, too powerful to be rushed into the open before their time. Think about a seed in the ground. For a long time, all you see is soil, no green, no sign of life. If you did not know what was happening beneath the surface, you might think the seed was gone. But underground, something is forming. Roots are stretching. Strength is being built in a place no one can see. Your life can be like that. This season you call waiting may actually be the season where your foundations are being laid. Your patience is being strengthened. Your dependence on Allah is being deepened. Your understanding of what truly matters is being quietly reshaped. You may look around and see other people moving forward, getting what they want, reaching milestones you thought you would reach by now. And a small voice inside you asks, "Why not me?" Let me answer that softly. Allah does not move all hearts at the same pace. He knows what you can carry. He knows what would overwhelm you. He knows what would distract you from Him if it came too quickly. Sometimes Allah delays a blessing not because you are unworthy of it, but because He loves you too much to give it to you before you are ready. And while you wait, He gives you something else. He gives you time to grow into someone who can receive that blessing with gratitude instead of arrogance, with wisdom instead of carelessness, with humility instead of pride. There is also something else happening behind this veil. Allah is not only preparing what is coming to you, He is preparing you for what is coming. Your heart is being trained to trust Him, even when there is no visible proof. Your soul is being taught to lean on Him when there is no clear answer. Your faith is being stretched beyond comfort, beyond ease, into something deeper and steadier. And that kind of faith cannot be built in moments of instant success. It is built in moments of unanswered dua, of long nights, of quiet perseverance. You may feel forgotten in this waiting, but if you were forgotten, you would not feel the pull toward Allah at all. The fact that you still turn to Him, still ask, still hope, still try, that is a sign that He is still holding you in His care. So if you are standing behind this veil right now, not knowing what the next chapter looks like, let yourself rest in this truth. Allah has not paused your life. He has placed it in a careful, intentional moment of becoming. One day, when the veil is lifted and you step into what was being prepared for you all along, you will realize that this waiting was not a detour. It was the path, and every step you took in the dark was still guided by the one who could already see the light ahead. They were removed because your next level could not hold them. My dear one, let me speak to the part of you that still remembers names it no longer says out loud. There are people who were once woven into your daily life, voices you expected to hear, messages you expected to see, faces that felt familiar, safe, or simply always there. And now, there is a space where there used to be, and in that space, questions grow. You wonder what went wrong. You replay conversations in your mind. You think about what you could have done differently, what you could have said better, how you could have held on tighter. Let me tell you something gently. Not every separation is a failure. Sometimes it is a form of mercy. Allah, in His wisdom, sees paths we cannot see and futures we cannot imagine. He knows which connections will help you grow and which ones will quietly keep you in the same place. There are people who love the version of you that stays small, stays familiar, stays comfortable. And there are people who cannot walk with you into the version of yourself that Allah is shaping you to become. When Allah begins to lift you, not everyone can rise with you. And so, He removes some from your path. Not always because they are bad, but because they are not meant for where you are going. This is one of the hardest kinds of pain, because it does not come from something dramatic. It comes from distance, from change, from realizing that the same hearts no longer beat in the same rhythm. You may feel like you were left behind, but what if you were actually being led forward? Sometimes Allah closes a door behind you, so you do not keep walking back into a room you have already outgrown. And that hurts, because even rooms that are too small for you can still feel like home. Let yourself grieve what was. It is human to miss people. It is human to wish things had stayed the same. But also, allow yourself to trust that Allah's hand was in the letting go. He did not remove them to leave you empty. He removed them to make space. Space for growth, space for new understanding, space for connections that match the depth you are developing, space for a stronger relationship with Him. There is also something else in this removal. Sometimes, the presence of certain people keeps parts of you asleep. You stay quiet when you want to speak. You stay still when you want to move. You stay comfortable when you are meant to stretch. When Allah takes those people away, you feel the loss. But you also feel something else. Freedom. The freedom to become who you truly are, without explaining yourself, without shrinking yourself, without asking for permission to grow. You may not see it now, because pain has a way of blinding us to purpose. But one day, you will look back at this season of separation and realize that it was not the end of something beautiful. It was the beginning of something more honest. So if you are standing in the quiet left behind by someone who is no longer there, let this truth sit gently in your heart. Allah did not remove them because you were not enough. He removed them because what He is building in you is becoming too big for the space they could hold. And even if you walk alone for a while, you are not truly alone. You are walking with the one who knows exactly where this path leads. Every tear you hid was turned into a sign only Allah can read. My dear one, let me speak to the moments no one ever saw. The nights when you lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything that went wrong, everything that changed, everything you wished you could fix. The times when your chest felt heavy, but your lips still formed a smile the next morning. The moments when you wanted to talk, but did not know who would truly understand, so you stayed silent instead. You may think those moments disappeared into the air. But let me tell you something with certainty. Not one of them was lost. Allah sees what the world cannot see. He hears what you do not say out loud. He knows the weight behind your laughter and the strength behind your silence. There are things in your life that no one has ever thanked you for. The patience you showed when you could have reacted, the restraint you practiced when you could have spoken harshly, the faith you held on to when it would have been easier to let go. Those things do not show up in pictures, they do not get applause, they do not get recognition, but they are written. Every tear you wiped away before it could fall, every prayer you whispered in the dark, every moment you chose to trust Allah instead of giving in to bitterness. These moments became signs, not for people to read, but for Allah to recognize. You may feel unnoticed in this world, overlooked, taken for granted, like your effort disappears the moment it leaves your hands. But Allah does not overlook. He does not forget. He does not lose count. There is a kind of record being kept that has nothing to do with status or followers or success or praise. It has everything to do with the state of your heart when no one else is watching. Sometimes you wonder if being gentle in a harsh world even matters. If being patient in an impatient time is worth it. If choosing faith when doubt feels louder makes any difference at all. Let me answer that for you. It matters more than you can see. Because what you do in secret shapes who you become in public. What you choose in the dark determines the light you carry in the day. Those tears you hid softened your heart. They taught you compassion for others who are hurting quietly, just like you. They gave you a depth of understanding that cannot be learned from comfort alone. And one day, you will realize that the person you became through those unseen struggles is one of the greatest gifts Allah placed in your life. You may not see the full meaning of it now. You may still feel tired, still feel like your efforts are small compared to how heavy things feel. But if Allah guided you here, maybe He wants you to hear this clearly. You are not invisible to Him, not in your strength, not in your weakness, not in your quiet endurance. Everything you thought went unnoticed was actually being gathered into something greater than you can imagine. So if you feel like you have been holding on in silence for a long time, let your heart rest in this truth. Allah knows, Allah sees, and Allah never lets a single tear fall without turning it into something meaningful in the story He is writing for you. You are not walking this path, you are being carried through it. My dear one, let me speak to the part of you that feels tired of being strong. There are days when you wake up and already feel like you have used tomorrow's energy just to survive today. Days when even simple things feel heavy, when you look at your life and think, I don't know how I am still standing. And yet, you are. Let me tell you something gently, because this truth is meant to be felt, not just understood. You were never meant to carry this life by yourself. Even when you feel alone, even when no one checks on you, even when it seems like you are walking through your struggles in silence, you are not actually walking on your own strength. You are being held. Every breath you take without thinking about it, every moment you make it through without falling apart, every time you choose to keep going, even when you feel empty inside, those are not just signs of your resilience. They are signs of mercy carrying you forward. Sometimes we imagine Allah's help as something dramatic, a sudden change, a problem disappearing, a clear sign in the sky. But often, His help looks quieter than that. It looks like waking up with just enough strength to face another day. It looks like finding the right words in a moment when you thought you would break. It looks like a small sense of calm that settles in your chest when everything around you feels uncertain. You may not call that being carried, but that is exactly what it is. Think about all the moments in your life when you should have given up, but didn't. When you thought you were at the end of yourself, but somehow found one more step to take. Where did that step come from? It did not come from your plans. It did not come from your confidence. It came from a source deeper than both. Allah places strength in you at the exact moment you need it. Not before, not in excess, but just enough to move you forward. And that is why you often only realize how far you have come when you look back, not when you are in the middle of the journey. You may feel like you are barely making progress, like you are just surviving, not moving. But even surviving is a form of movement when the weight you carry is heavy. There is also something beautiful in this truth. If you were the one holding everything together, it would all fall apart the moment you got tired. But you are not the one holding everything together. Allah is. He is holding your past, even the parts you wish you could change. He is holding your present, even when it feels confusing and fragile. And He is holding your future, even though you cannot see what it looks like yet. So if you feel weak today, let yourself be weak. You do not have to be strong in front of Allah. You only have to be honest. Tell Him when you are tired. Tell Him when you are afraid. Tell Him when you do not understand what He is doing in your life. And then, let yourself lean on the one who does understand. Because this path you are on with all its turns, delays, losses, and quiet moments, is not something you were meant to walk through alone. You are being carried through it, step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. And even on the days when you feel like you are barely holding on, know this: the one who is carrying you will never let you fall. Let me leave you with this, softly. The way Allah often leaves His signs, not loud, not heavy, but deep enough to stay with you after the sound fades. You may close this video and return to the same room, the same life, the same responsibilities. The world around you may look exactly the same, but you do not have to walk back into it as the same person. Because now, you know this: you were not seen by accident. You were not guided here by chance. You were not carried through your pain, your waiting, your losses, and your quiet strength without purpose. Allah has been with you in every step you did not understand. In every night you thought you were alone. In every moment you thought you were falling behind. So, as you go back into your life, take this with you. When things feel heavy, remember you are being carried. When things feel delayed, remember something is being prepared. When you feel unseen, remember you are known by the one who sees everything. And if tonight, even for a moment, your heart felt lighter, calmer, or more at peace, that is not from these words. That is from Allah reaching you right where you are. So walk gently, trust deeply, and keep turning back to Him, no matter how many times you feel lost. Because the one who guided you to this moment has not finished guiding you yet.